Is there anything else you learned from working together?
I would say that adding constraints to the craft is always a good thing, even when you're collaborating with someone else. So keeping things as simple as you can from the start and being a minimalist. So as you can see, we did add constraints, illustrations, almost all of them have a pencil, text the same, 280 characters or less, and all the pages are the same. So adding constraints makes the whole process 10 times easier because we know what we're doing. We don't have to be discussing, oh, well, what should we do in this page? Should I make the illustration full page? Should I make it that way? It's, making things clear from the start. So again, my number one tip, and I can't stress this enough, is to add constraints. I learned this from Jack and from Aaron and from Janice even. Keep things simple. I must add more constraints myself because I'm using way too many colors, too many shades, and that's a good thing, but I would like to streamline stuff and keep things simple. So the trick that I see very few people applying is to add constraints, like as many constraints as you can, like using only one color or two colors, always using the same size. So I mean, it's almost magic. Like as soon as you add constraints, you step up to the next level. And Jack has done a phenomenal job at adding constraints, black and white. Aaron as well, Jamie as well. He's great at keeping things simple, and I can always recognize his style on Twitter without even looking at his profile picture, because he writes in this poetic way and he always keeps things pretty short, and it's amazing.
Yeah, constraints is something that every creative, every artist should leverage. I think it's underused in writing. How do you feel about that, Jamie? Because you kind of do put those constraints on much of your writing.
Yeah, I'm constantly working on incorporating more and more. I mean, a good example would just be Shakespeare, right? Like the Shakespearean sonnet. It's like, there's a lot of creative freedom within that format, but at the end of the day, like same structure, same flow, same rhythm, same, like you can expect, scene A, scene B, scene C as you go through the entire play. So I think there definitely are some really fantastic artists that have leveraged it to their ability in the past. Great writers. And yeah, it's something I keep working on, it's tough. And then there's like other delineations of haikus as well, like collaborative writing in poetry, collaborative haikus where people string together haikus to form longer form pieces. But yeah, I mean, there's some really good formats out there that I think the art has just been a little bit lost in recent years, because we live in this area of Twitter where it's very much driven by like James Clear, David Perel, Dickie Bush. They've all got these formats, which those have constraints in themselves as well. Like the Atomic Essay is a really, really good example. But it's kind of our area of the world that we live in, or like our corner of the internet is very different from some other corners where there are a lot more constraints in poetic use of language. So it's just going out and finding those influences.